Meowdy. So today we have another shoe on head reaction video. This one's actually a very new video. I tried to get it out as soon as possible for you guys just because we all love shoe here. So without further ado, let's get started.
So my last video was about woke one, a new phrase coined by leftists and Democrats online that is being used to distance themselves from the terrible PR disaster that was the last few years for the left in America.
I reacted to Shoe's old videos, then she started reacting to her old videos. Maybe I convinced her to.
Nancy Pelosi kneeling in full African garb to honor George Floyd? Why, that was just woke one. And how, in my opinion, that was not woke one, and how woke one actually started in like 2012, 2014 with Gamergate, Me Too, Tumblr era feminism, the whole pre-Trump era wokeness, before it was even called woke.
Oh, well, we did something embarrassing that didn't work. I guess we better backtrack. We'll have to call this something else so we can easily distance ourselves from it. How about woke one? It's perfect! When they were still called SJWs, but then SJWs got such a bad rap that they had to switch to woke. Wait, are we seeing a pattern here?
And I talked about how I don't want them to rewrite history and pretend this all started in like 2020. After uploading that video on Woke One, I thought I was free. That I would never have to hear the insufferable, delusional term Woke One ever again. I thought I could finally move on with my life.
I wish they did, but they don't die easily.
Yeah, I thought.
What do you make of those controversial statements I'm sure you've seen? I mean, she's the Thanksgiving dust up, abolish prisons, abolish police.
Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot
Right,
of that.
she's moved away from it. Of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Eek. That AOC laugh and Kamala's laugh sound way too familiar. That makes me uncomfortable. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I guess it's something about these liberal colored women.
Now, as an ex-AOC fangirl, I feel like I am well within my rights to say, not so fast, bitch. I watched these people go from anti-establishment, fighting the man, become the most preachy, buck-broken, neutered HR department Karens in real time.
From anti-establishment and fight the man to preach buck-broken, neutered HR Karens. Okay, y'all, it's time. You're gonna have to take out that nose ring, in particular that septum ring, or if you have the 3 thing going on. Then if you have colored hair, it is time to dye it and learn the ability to stay in your own fucking lane. If you really want to be done with this whole woke one shit, that is what you need to do for us. We need a signal that you are not one of them, so stop wearing their costume. Thank you.
I remember when she broke away from the Bernie Sanders campaign after he dared go on Joe Rogan. I watched this all happen, and I held on. I held on for a long time. Many would say too long, in fact. But this clip of AOC talking about woke one really solidified how I've been feeling for the past few years. In this video, I will be responding to AOC trying to walk back woke one in what I can only assume is a desperate attempt to distance herself from the more crazy people in her movement before a future presidential run. Now, while politicians are out here trying to dodge accountability for things that they've said and done, the rest of us are out here figuring out how the f we're gonna afford anything. People are getting squeezed from every direction. Rent costs too much, groceries cost too much.
Groceries cost too much, and we have constant outbreaks and recalls on the food we spend hundreds for. We then have to throw out lots of fresh produce and eggs because these companies have a monopoly over these individual products. It's not like we should have kept our federal food safety system fully staffed and funded. Oh, wait, we should have. The Trump admin and FDA cut CDC staff by around 20% and made tracking for pathogens like Listeria and Cyclospora optional instead of mandatory. So, when an outbreak hits, now we're finding out later and much slower than we used to.
So head over to ridge.com/shoe. Now, before we get into the real meat of this, the real juicy, this is the politician AOC and the interviewer are talking about. Francesca Hong is a progressive DSA candidate who recently lost her primary.
God damn, is that a 4-head or a 9-head? You can land a plane on that thing.
Francesca Hong has a few interesting tweets from 2020. Who among us does not? But most notably, one about wanting to cancel Thanksgiving. Cancel Thanksgiving. Should have done this in 1621. If it takes a worldwide pandemic for us to realize we should stop celebrating colonialism and the original super spreader event that killed indigenous folks and women, so be it.
How come it's often people that aren't even a member of the race that's being discussed that have outrage about this type of shit online? This lady is obviously Korean. Why is she speaking for the Indians? Feather, not dot.
Please don't gather for the colonizer holiday. Please do wear a mask. I forget that people actually speak like this, and it's not just like some conservative parody of liberals.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef. Bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our community.
What does she mean by our community? Is she transracial Native American? Or does she mean other Koreans in the community are upset? I don't know what this hive mind group speak is, but it's retarded. And this Francesca bitch looks like the shadow in my room that's making it that I can't sleep.
Don't get me wrong, I love the struggle session they're putting these candidates through, reading their old woke 1.0 tweets back at them, like a dog that peed on the carpet. What is this? What is this? But the quotes and replies from like Democrats and leftists on this were even funnier. Is it so hard to just say, no, I do not want to cancel Thanksgiving? Even if you do want to, just lie? Why is she catering so hard to the fringe? Does she want to lose her election? Why can't she just lie? This woman is an optics nightmare. Just say no. Say it was a joke. Say it was woke one. Just lie, for fuck's sake. Just say no. Just lie, please.
These people are so used to their politicians lying that it's what they want. Yikes.
No, she shouldn't lie, and she's not trying to cater. This is what she truly believes. And the people should know exactly what she believes. She has talked about her half-white son, that he gives her a, quote, proximity to whiteness.
Proximity to whiteness. What the fuck? Change that to any other race and people would find it unacceptable. Proximity to blackness? Proximity to Indianness? Ew, wait. I can smell that one.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did marry, my proximity to whiteness continues, right? My son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean.
What does she mean by other people's communities of color? Did I miss something? Are Asian people colored? Asking for a friend.
I love the hesitation. She's like, I married my child is half white. She can't even like bring herself to say it. Activists in the streets, colonized in the sheets. Many such cases. Also, Francesca Hong just like hates all holidays apparently. This woman is straight up Grinch maxing.
Oh, she's a Grinch. That's how she's colored. I get it now.
She's got a hate tweet for every fucking holiday, I swear to God. Except for Kwanzaa. Of course. Why would she hate Kwanzaa? When asked how her long-term vision of a world without prisons would work, Hong said, "What I know is attainable, and the policies that actually meet the urgency of the moment and understanding the realities of it means we have to ensure that we're funding our local governments, that we're bringing justice to victims." She added, "What may have been aspirational is not primary."
So she wants a world without prisons, not just the US. I want to know what these policies are going to be that are somehow going to stop violent convicted criminals from continuing to do these actions again. What, are we just going to let serial child rapist and murderer Donnie out on parole with regular counseling sessions? Oh, that'll certainly, change him, even though he's been convicted for, 12 life sentences from all of the horrific crimes he's committed. And where's this funding going? Some people can't be reformed. Maybe she saw My Hero Academia and wanted to be like Deku.
What may have been aspirational. So it's still an aspiration. It's still a goal. It's just not the primary one. Interesting. Also, her opponent said this.
People try to call me the establishment. I look at that as a slur, particularly as an African-American candidate.
How the fuck is the establishment an African-American slur? The way people just sandwich buzzwords and inflammatory language and think they are the second coming.
So, cancel Thanksgiving or establishment is a racist slur. Your Democratic Party, sir. Anyway, my point is, Francesca Hong's old tweets about defunding the police and whiteness and Thanksgiving, they were being all hand-waved away by AOC as just simply being woke one.
Woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. But if you said woke one was crazy during woke one, you are a racist fascist Nazi. The citation of woke 1.0 or woke 1 is now a common shorthand among parts of the online left to describe and distance themselves from what they view as a more dated or inconvenient aspects of the impassioned social justice activism they participated in during the late 2010s and early 2020s. In 2021, Chai Osi, campaigning for New York City Council, tweeted, "A cis white man should not be the next speaker of the council." When a critic of his on X unearthed that old post earlier this year, Osi, now a council member, gave a pithy response. Woke one was crazy. We all got a bit crazy back then. We did some jello shots and got on the bar and took off our tops and burned the city down and got people fired from their jobs for having opinions Obama had 15 years ago. You can't spend like 10 years bullying people into the most retarded asocial political opinions under the coercion of social ostracization or getting fired from their job, then turn around and just be like, that just happened. My career for like a decade has been calling this out, has been trying to tell the left and the Democratic Party that this woke shit was toxic and would drive people away from them. And for 10 years, I was called a racist, sexist, pick-me, fascist, Nazi, every ist and ism under the sun. And now they're just conceding to that and acting like it never happened. And you just expect us to, what, move on?
They want all to be forgiven now that they changed their minds back as quickly as they adopted the ideology to begin with. And they think we're just gonna be fine with it when they've been harassing and ruining people's lives for years. No, that's not how this works.
I've been like a dog chasing a car, and I finally got the car, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, first of all, why as a Democratic politician would you say this? You're basically saying like, yeah, MAGA was right, we were crazy. Like, okay, what else are they right about then? Even from like an AOC fan point of view, this just makes her look completely unserious and makes like the progressive movement look completely unserious, which it is. Why should anyone trust a politician who can get swept up in mass hysteria so easily? How can I trust that won't happen again? How can I trust in 5 years from now, you won't just call whatever it is you're advocating for now woke too and dismiss it as crazy? Free Palestine. Woke too was crazy. Like, what do you believe in?
I blindly believe in what the party tells me to do. This is my religion.
Could you imagine Republicans being like, January 6th one was crazy? Basically, I said this all on Twitter and people were like already making videos of it. AOC panics after Shoe0nhead calls her. Like, that didn't even happen. Like, I don't think AOC even knows I exist. I love the thumbnail on this one. Shoe bitch slaps AOC. Who the f is this? Is that Shoe bitch? Ah yes, the infamous, notorious Shoe bitch. Going around slapping women. Every time I log onto YouTube, I'm destroying and slapping and finishing on people. If you didn't know who I was, you would think I was some like psychopathic rapist.
I wanted to title this video, "She was very nice to the leftist extremists," but then no one would have clicked on it.
And then you click on the video and it's just like, I posted a tweet. Anyway, back to the point. When a citizen changes their mind on something, that's totally normal, that's totally natural. Many things can happen in the span of years that can change your mind on something. It's perfectly normal to evolve and grow. And it's fine if you're a politician and you change your mind on something, but, and this is a big but, this is a fat ass. If you're a politician and you change your mind on something, I want to know exactly why you changed your mind. When you changed your mind. Be transparent. What about woke 1, really woke 2 in my opinion, don't you agree with anymore?
I don't think that this is just for politicians. If you want to be following politics and be invested in it, you should at least have your own reasons for believing the things that you do, not just going along with whatever the party says. You can agree with what the party says, but at least have your own reasons for doing so. And when you change your mind, have your own reasons then too. And this isn't me trying to convince you, to join my side or anything. I'm not on one of the sides. I'm politically independent. You're gonna call me right-wing though, but I'm not. But this is for you. You should have those reasons for you.
Why didn't the interviewer ask AOC that question? Like, what was crazy about woke 1? Trans women are women, DEI, white privilege, defund the police, the Green New Deal, like what? What? Tell us. What? Tell the class.
Yes, Mommy. Convinced young people to estrange themselves from friends and family over differing political opinions. Deplatforming people on social media accounts, speaking gigs, or book/movie deals over things deemed as controversial. Self-censorship and the increased softening of language. At the workplace due to fear of public ridicule and ostracization. DEI trainings and statements, mandatory diversity trainings or diversity statements in hiring, seen by many, myself included, as ideological tests. School curriculum changes, debates on how race, gender, and history is taught to our kids, with subjects like critical race theory and radical gender ideology. The subjects were often in the form of indoctrination, telling students that they need to believe this dogma and drink the Kool-Aid. Otherwise, they could face punishments in school for not sticking to the status quo. Speaking of critical race theory, all the anti-white hate and propaganda being spread online to try to make people hate white people. To such an extreme point that many non-white people see white people as the devil. And one more thing about critical race theory. Why are we so focused on critical race theory when we have a lack of critical thinking skills among our youth and adults? We shouldn't be focusing on critical race theory. We should be focusing on critical thinking. Just saying. Historical revisionism, the removal of statues, renaming of buildings and streets, and reassessment of historical figures, and the destruction of many other historical sites and things along those lines. Online pile-ons, coordinated social media campaigns against individuals or brands over perceived offenses. No debate dynamics. Some topics are treated as settled and disagreement is shut down rather than argued with. And rather than having a discussion with you about these subjects, they'd rather tell you to educate yourself, as well as having the inability to agree to disagree, which not so long ago was commonplace during discussions that were going nowhere. Changing the definition of words, mostly to circular definition, including that "what is a woman" bullshit they pulled. While we never had to describe what a man was, there was no confusion about that. Saying it's fine to be a homeless drug addict and that we should do nothing about the homeless, just let them be, that's worked out great, especially in California. The push of everything being a race war ideology issue. This is just a distraction from the class war. Convincing minorities in poor communities that it's all white people that are oppressing them. Not the corporate overlords and daddy government continuing to have love children that rape the American people. No, it couldn't be that. It's sad that we lived through that and are still living through it in a time where people are afraid to exercise their First Amendment right to free speech. To this day, they continue to employ tactics of coercion and threats of violence. I'm sure there's more that I missed, but those were just the ones that I thought of off the top of my head. That's a lot. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you Kitty Corner. Let's see what the babies are up to.
It's a booby. Hi, Buttercup. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. Little baby. Wesley. Hi, Wesley. Eepy boy. Eepy boy. So cute. And Mochi's in his hammock. They're all in their favorite spot. There's my sweet boy.
I've talked about this a few times in a few videos, but one example of me changing my mind, I was way more critical of the police back in like 2020, like borderline ACAB. I was also single, depressed, living in my parents' basement, smoking weed every day, but I'm sure that had nothing to do with it. I can tell you that moving from the suburbs to the city, taking public transportation, having a kid, seeing firsthand how bad things are and how bad things can get, actually experiencing the world outside of my bubble is what changed my mind on that topic and a whole bunch of other topics.
You need to be exposed to these things. If you live in your bubble, you'll never know. I say as if I truly have a clue.
So I want to know, AOC and other politicians, what about Woke One do you disagree with now? What's sad is, if this was like 5 years ago, I'd be like, hell yeah, AOC has finally seen the light. Woke is bad, so true. Now we can get real things done, comrade. But it's not 5 years ago. I'm a grown-up now, and this is extremely pathetic. As a politician, you need to be transparent. I'm gonna bird hands at you. Be transparent. The people who act like we need to be apologizing for shit our ancestors did 400 years ago, acting like 2020 never happened.
It's interesting how 5 years ago, she was both more of an optimist as far as the left, which makes perfect sense considering everything that's happened. And she had a baby. But I agree that these politicians should have reasons for why they've changed their minds and what they did wrong. As public figures who want our vote again, they need to actually be talking about policies. Actually talking about policies and what's gone wrong. Not just saying the word policies, specific policies, the nitty-gritty details. They used to do that before it was just orange man bad.
I'm not buying it, sorry. These issues were f***ing, like, existential to these people a few years ago. And now it's just like, no big deal. It was just a phase, Mom. I'm just a silly 30-year-old teenage politician.
I'm just a silly girl in my 30s.
My concern isn't really that Democrats are admitting this stuff was wrong and deeply unpopular. My concern is I don't see anything preventing from that happening again. There's literally some assemblywoman in Brooklyn right now running on some woke one-ass shit as we speak, talking about how stealing should be legal, actually.
Oh no, here we go again.
No one should be arrested, much less jailed, for stealing a tube of toothpaste. Incarceration separates people from their jobs, support service, and loved ones. It perpetuates a cycle of poverty and crime, no matter how much fear-mongering the right-wing media does.
What convinced all of these people that prisons are so horrible and that we need to get rid of them? I don't understand. Why do they want these people on the streets? She's talking about stealing toothpaste now. But I'm sure she was also supporting the BLM movement while they were lighting buildings on fire and stealing extremely expensive electronics.
These people aren't stealing toothpaste because they have to brush their teeth. These people are stealing things in bulk to sell on Facebook Marketplace. We have food banks, food stamps, charity for poor people who can't actually afford toothpaste. If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would be, criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin. Criminals are not Aladdin!
Yes, Mommy.
And it would make everyone's lives incredibly easier if there was actually some deterrent against crime. Yes. Otherwise, what's the point? Why should anyone go to work and spend their hard-earned money when we can just steal? Crime is legal now. Laws. Drunk driving is not illegal on stolen land. I don't think they understand just how incomprehensible some of their worldview actually is.
So if my daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant and bring him to justice?
Of course, yeah, of course.
What would it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right now.
These are the issues we're actually facing right now. There's multiple instances of this shit happening way too many times at this very moment. They love to bring up the rape statistics, but all of a sudden it's just a hypothetical. Also, I think this is a man. Who else would be advocating for fucking rapists?
Which is that we're spending in absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing.
What hypothetical? That's the entire idea. That's the entire policy, and you can't explain it? Abolish prisons. Where do the bad people go?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, okay. In a functioning society, people like that would be forced to dig ditches in a work camp forever. Useless. Sorry, I'm chutting out so hard in this video. I'm in my luteal phase. I have a fucking pimple. I have a pimple. For the first time in like 15 years, I'm stressing out so hard. What the f***? Anyway, despite the Republicans completely dropping the ball right before midterms, surprise! War in the Middle East forever! The sudden walk back about Woke 1 clearly shows the Democrats are still struggling with PR. If only there was some sort of left-wing Joe Rogan.
Here he is, everyone's least favorite animal-abusing, terrorist-supporting, left-leaning male in a MAGA body, Hassan Piker.
People think I'm the king of Woke 1.0, that I was Mr. Radlib, right? I never was. I have a pretty open mind to unlimited progress, but I also understand how people operate. Like I never did the Latinx thing. Like I have been dark woke before dark woke was invented. Like this is the headquarters of dark woke.
Dark woke? I guess that's a new term.
Not the dude who called me emo, calling himself dark woke. What the actual f*** is dark woke?
What is dark woke?
Dark woke is just Democrats are just as woke as we were in Woke 1.0. The messaging is what's important. It is aggressive.
The entire idea of dark woke seems to be that regular woke was too polite and too wholesome.
They thought this was wholesome.
Dark woke for me is we are fighting for good and for equality and for social justice for everybody, but we don't mind saying F you.
Dark woke, get it? It's like woke, but we're mean. You already are mean! That's why people hated you! You were finger-wagging, morally righteous woke scolds. The problem was never that the left was insufficiently mean online. God forbid someone say the wrong word, liked the wrong tweet, or failed to participate in the latest virtue signal humiliation ritual. And I'm sorry, can we just go back to that Hassan clip real quick?
I have a pretty open mind to unlimited progress.
What the f*** does unlimited progress mean?
Unlimited progress. His whole speech here is just a nothing burger, like everything he says. Also, when did Hassan decide to start wearing these suits and shit? Does he think it makes him look more intelligent or something? Because nothing could make this man look more intelligent to me.
Considering these guys think progress is like a literal linear line where just more and more people get rights. So like what the f does that mean? Pedophile rights, zoophile rights? What unlimited progress are we talking about here, buddy? Because that sounds pretty woke to me. We did so much progress to the gender discussion. We somehow looped back around to little boys liking pink means they're gay.
But if a little boy likes pink and he likes to play with dolls, there's no possible way he could be male. He must be a female in a male's body, because that's a normal, common thing and not at all a mental illness.
But wokely, no son of mine is gonna play with Barbies. That must mean he's a girl. You people are lost in the sauce.
Mandami's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over, and impoverish the white middle class.
Beast mode. I love her so much. One of the things about Zoran is that the people surrounding him oftentimes are so much cooler than he is.
I like how in the video where he defends himself from people criticizing that clip, he's like, guys, come on, it was just a joke, guys, come on. In the description of that video, he's like, anti-white racism, which doesn't exist. Definitely not woke one. All right, buddy. Sorry. It's so hard not to just make the entire video clowning on that goofball. Like, bro was in a suit at a pool party. The man is a cartoon character. I don't want to make videos about Hassan Piker, but you can't fucking escape him nowadays because the media won't shut the f up about him.
It's all Hassan Piker and Donald Trump. I can't stand either. Being politically independent in this country is what makes me feel truly like a minority.
Fox News is just hyper-focusing on him every single day to go after the Democrats because I guess they have nothing else. And then the response to all the Hassan stuff coming out on the right, coming out on Fox News, is then like left-wing journalists making more puff pieces, taking more photo shoots of Hassan in his mansion, and all these outlets calling him like a terrorist and a communist. Just makes him sound way more important and like way cooler than he actually is. Nothing hurts this dude more than reminding him that he is literally just a Twitch streamer. I don't want the focus of American politics to center around a f***ing Twitch streamer.
I fear it's too late, Shoe. I'm sorry, Mommy.
Like, I don't understand the media's obsession with this guy, but at the same time, I don't think Hassan is the best wagon to hitch yourself to if you're the Democratic Party. There are other internet celebrities on the left you could do that with. Like, God, the left really has nobody. No, he's a sex pest. No, she's a sex pest. Damn it. I don't know. There's gotta be someone with way less baggage than Hassan Piker. Like, why don't you hitch your wagon to someone like that? Instead of Hassan, who, every time he's rightfully criticized, hides behind how he just wants to give us health care.
Because the Hassan fangirls love him so much, and he has to have a bunch of males in his audience too. It's the only thing that explains his viewership, right? But I'm also convinced that his viewers might not be real people. He could be botting, and we know if he was, Twitch wouldn't do anything about it since he's their golden boy.
Death to the West! Let the streets run with their capitalist blood!
Whoa, dude, you're making us look bad.
Oh, I'm just a little healthcare boy! You wouldn't criticize a little healthcare boy now, would you? I don't care anymore. I wash my hands of this. There's gonna be like 25 videos uploaded after this, like Shoe0nhead bends Hassan over and like, great, can't wait. Remember that big study we talked about that was done after the Democrats lost the election that showed the most popular Democrat positions were things related to economic issues, and the least popular policies were things like abolishing the police, abolishing prisons, and like open border policies? People don't want to abolish the police. They do not want to abolish prisons. They don't want to talk about whiteness or whatever the talk to actual workers about them. Like, talk to actual blue-collar workers. They hate this shit. And they hate you. They hate you because you suck, but they also hate you because you hate them.
Hating on people is one of the easiest ways to make them hate you. And the left has continued to use that. I don't know why they think that treating people this way could get anyone to convert to the cause. It's pushed so many people away, and it's gonna continue to.
Like I said 500 billion times before, more people would be on board with what the left was saying, or at least like sit down and listen to you, if you dropped the gay race Marxist bullshit. How do I know this? The DSA and the left and the Democrats, they have to distance themselves from the goofy, destructive, identity-politic, asocial bullshit. And in order to do that, you actually have to mean it, not just laugh it off. But I don't think they can, because this stuff is just so deeply ingrained in socially progressive politics. A lot of this stuff isn't woke one. It's just part of dismantling whiteness and the patriarchy, destroying hierarchies, subverting norms, or whatever the f***. That cancel Thanksgiving tweet wasn't just some like silly haha woke one bullshit. But you know, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is what I've been asking for a decade. Maybe this is a new era for the Democrats. Could AOC actually have changed her mind?
No way in hell. I don't think so anyway. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't think so.
Yes, it's totally possible, yes. AOC and I are like the same age. She's like a year older than me. She's still pretty young. 35 is young, right?
Yes, 35 years young, baby.
It's not impossible that in her time being a politician, her mind has changed on a few things. But it lines up suspiciously well with a run for president in 2028. So forgive me if I'm a little bit skeptical.
Oh God, please no. No. I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. If you want a female president, stop trying to push people on us just because of their identity. Being a black, Asian, female, transsexual, or whatever the fuck is not enough to make me vote for you. And it never will be.
I see a lot of Republicans online like, do it, AOC, run for president. Don't get too cocky. You may be surprised. The American people are an enigma, and we might see a pretty big pendulum swing. As hard as it is for some hyper-partisan-brained people to hear, not everyone voting for these DSA candidates are like crazy commies or something. Just like not everyone who voted for MAGA in 2016 when Trump promised to bring jobs back and he will remember the forgotten man and whatever. Those people weren't Nazis. When people can't afford a house, a car to get married, to have kids, you cannot be shocked when they start looking for options outside of the establishment. Huey Long, one of my favorite politicians, believed that if people had their needs met and were content and happy and had jobs and could feed their families, communism or fascism would never come to America because people would have no reason to revolt or want those things. They would be happy with what they had. He believed that extreme economic inequality created political instability. And as the economy continues to go to shit and wages don't increase, and retards like Dan Crenshaw respond to these issues with basically let them eat ramen, we are going to see people moving to all different directions on the political spectrum.
We need more members of the Rent's Too Damn High party, because it's the truth.
Personally, until there's a Democratic Party that isn't prisoner to identity politics or isn't completely cucked by race grievance, I'm not a Democrat. And until there's a Republican Party that actually cares about workers and isn't completely cucked to a certain foreign country, I'm not a Republican. I'm trying to look like Hassan. I look like a f***ing femboy. Wait, hold on.
Hi, my name is Sock.
I look like I would be groomed on Discord. What the actual f***? Alright, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this.
Wait, why does she make such a cute femboy? Oh, probably because she's not a boy.
In conclusion, I do not like seeing politicians run from accountability. I like transparency. If you change your mind on something, tell me why. This woke one, woke two is a headache. I am done with it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's a chance AOC is being genuine? Are you willing to believe politicians who have said they've changed their mind on things? Have you changed your mind on things since like 2020? If so, what?
I've changed my mind about a fair amount of things. I was more critical of the police back then. I was never big on completely defunding the police or anything because I thought that was retarded. But allocating some of the police money differently I thought would be helpful and restructuring in that way, but not dismantling it. I've always been against the trans shit though, especially for kids, and my opinion on that will never waver.
If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you can, please consider donating to my Patreon, link down below. All patrons get every single video a day early with no censors, no bleeps, totally raw. Also, I'm doing Patreon-only live streams now. I'm planning the next one very soon, so I would love to see you guys there. And for everybody else, I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye! I'm not here to educate you.
Goth Mommy and Femboy Shoe were not on my 2026 bingo card, but I am sure glad we got them.
I've heard it 1,000 times before, and it's just not that funny anymore.
Drunk driving is not illegal on stolen land.